Hi, and welcome to Mac Most Daily Vlog. This is Jay and Will, with me, Gary.
I'm the backseat driver.
Yeah.
It's drivers.
So ahead of Macworld here, there's some old standard softwares being updated. Well, first we have updates from Microsoft and updates from Adobe, and very different updates because like Microsoft actually has been talking about Office 2008 for a year now. They've had beta versions, trial versions. Basically, anybody that wants to see it has already seen it, and they actually released it yesterday.
Today.
On the other hand,
yesterday.
yeah. On the other hand, Adobe came out and announced that they're coming out with Photoshop Elements 6, which won't be out till second quarter 2008, which is kind of like a, it's like what was the purpose of the announcement? I'm not quite sure.
And then there's CS3, and why Elements, CS3 came out last May.
Yeah.
And so
I don't mind Photoshop taking its time because it's hard to chase after.
But it's Elements, not Photoshop. Photoshop Elements.
It's just, which is, I almost like Elements, except that it's like there's always the one thing that you wanted to, the pull-down menu that you're used to in Photoshop CS, and you're used to it, and they label it something different, and then they don't have the parameters,
Well,
and you have to work around the lack of channels.
The truth is, you guys are spoiled, right? And I'm spoiled now because Photoshop Full comes with CS3, so I've got Photoshop Full. But I go over to somebody's house that has a Mac, and they have I have this image. I wanted to see if I can edit it and do something.
Yeah.
I've seen people do it on the computers. How do I do it? And these people don't have any software, right? They're browsing. They're doing their basic iLife stuff. And I'm like, well, okay, we could get a graphic converter, but it's the free thing is going to bug you to death, and it's very hard to use, and you can barely use Mail or your browser, so I'm not even going to teach you how to do that. And then it's like, okay, what else is there? I mean, and there's a bunch of shareware out there, but it all costs something.
Well, all these kind of feature cut products, okay, like Final Cut Express, like Logic Express, like Photoshop Elements, like their Premiere.
Still expensive though. I mean, if Elements is going to be $100 or $80, that's still pretty expensive. If somebody says, "Oh, I just wanted to have fun and edit this image."
But it was like what we discovered with the Final Cut Express. It was like it's great if you're only doing DV video. If you're doing anything beyond DV video,
I want my money back for Final Cut Express.
Well, that's because we weren't doing DV video with it.
But I needed to do more than what iMovie did, and there's really nothing for me. But it is tough. There are a couple companies I'm going to go see at Macworld, and one of them is actually producing something. They're posing it as a remember Mac Paint? Well, this is like Mac Paint for for modern day stuff. But again, it's shareware, and there's so many free word processor things, free things online, and free this. There needs to be some sort of really cheap free. I mean, there's GIMP, of course. Now Mac GIMP costs something, and then Mac GIMP costs $25. GIMP itself only run if you have X11 installed. So right away then your audience for having like a free, cheap, easy graphics editor is gone because now you've required them to install.
Well, but then there's the iPhoto, option is you can do quite
adjustments.
You can do quite a bit,
but not for drawing, not for creating a graphic or whatever. So I don't know. It's pain. So now in Office, of course, it's interesting. I haven't tried Office 2008. I've used Office since Office has been on the Mac because for book writing. So I've always had the full suite, and I use Excel and all that. I recently trying to switch over to iWork, and this is the first time Microsoft's come out and released a version of Office when there's been some real competition, because there's iWork, which has the spreadsheet, it has the presentation software, and it has the word processor, and it's there for $79.
Right.
And now they have to come out with this $400 suite that basically is the same thing, except it adds Entourage, which is equivalent to Mail, which comes for free. So you basically, it's very hard to justify. Entourage is a little bit better than Mail. Word is probably a little better than Pages in some ways, certainly for working with publishers. Excel's a little bit better than Numbers. It's got some more advanced features. But you know, how can you justify $400 over $79 unless you just need those specific features?
Or if it has
it's a hard sell.
If it has a talking paperclip, it's totally worth it.
Yeah, and you can open up Word documents now in text edit, and you can certainly do it in Pages. So anyway, so some new software, some announcements before Macworld, and sure there'll be more to come tomorrow and Monday too. All right, see ya, bye.